Hi, I'm Tony Van Veen, CEO of Discmakers. In the past, I've frequently talked about the inadequately low streaming royalties that Spotify and other streaming companies pay artists. With rates under half a penny per stream, it takes about 300 listens. So that's like listening 30 times to a 10-song album. So 300 listens to earn just $1 in royalties. Independent artists can't live off their Spotify and other streaming royalties. And in the past, I've been pretty critical of the streaming companies about this. But today, I have to give credit, at least some credit, where credit is due to the folks at Spotify for partially realizing this and for actually appearing to do something about it by rolling out a pretty cool new feature that can help you as an artist drive more revenue from your artist profile on Spotify. What is that new feature? Well, Spotify has integrated with Shopify, the giant of independent online shopping technology. So if you as an artist have an online Shopify store where you sell your merch, you can now integrate it rather easily into your Spotify artist profile, and fans who are on your artist profile can buy some of your merch items right there. I mean, with names as similar as Spotify and Shopify, it probably was only a matter of time before some kind of integration happened. Now, regardless of how many merch items you have in your Shopify store, you can choose only 3 of them to display on your Spotify artist profile. So you'll obviously want to choose your most popular merch items. If fans are on your Spotify artist page and they scroll way down past the popular songs and the popular releases and the albums and the singles and the releases featuring your music and other artists that fans of your music might like, and your playlist and your bio and photo, there now is a section called Offers. And yes, that's a lot of scrolling. But once there, your fans can actually buy your merch right off of your Spotify artist page, and they'll get taken right to the Shopify shopping cart to check out their transaction. And the cool thing is that Spotify does not take any cut of the Shopify merch revenues that come from your profile. Now, how do you set this up on your Spotify artist profile? Well, if you haven't done so yet, you must first claim your Spotify artist profile. This is actually pretty easy to do through your digital distributor nowadays. Most of the big distributors like CD Baby and DistroKid let you authenticate your Spotify artist profile through their distributor dashboard. So you log into your CD Baby or DistroKid account, and then they have a button that you can click to verify your Spotify artist profile. So go ahead, log in there, and get to work. Once you control your Spotify artist profile, it's easy to connect your Shopify store to your Spotify profile. To show you how this is done, I'm joined by Carter Fox, who is not only Discmakers' social media guru, but he is also a bona fide, current, active artist whose top track on Spotify has garnered over 1 million streams. Carter, tell us how it's done.
Thanks, Tony. So here we are on our Spotify for Artists page, specifically our profile section, and you can see where it says merch, the little beta button. We're going to click that, and we're going to go down and click log into Shopify, and we need our little Shopify URL because we already have it set up. And if you don't have a Shopify account already, they actually have a really nice free trial you can sign up for with your Spotify info, as well as a nice 14-day basic version of it as well. So what we'll want to do is put that in and click link shop. And that'll take us to our Shopify profile, and we'll want to set up our Spotify account, accept the terms, connect our Spotify for Artists, connect the appropriate artist, confirm, and really just like that, it's there. You can actually see the products. 3 ones. I only have 3 in my shop, so just pick the 3. You can go in and click to make it available on Spotify, and we'll go back to our Spotify for Artists profile, back in our merch section, and you can already see that it's been pulled in. And all we have to do is click Add to Shop, and that's actually going to add it to our Spotify page. And it really works pretty quickly. So, I'll pull up my Spotify page real quick and scroll to the bottom because that's kind of where they put it at the moment. And the 3 pieces I chose are already there as offers. And it's really great because it's already set up through Shopify. All the payment kind of stuff is pretty integrated in there. You click, boom, size, and here we are. You just fill out that information and you have a t-shirt order. You have a hoodie order. It's really easy, happy selling, and back to you, Tony.
Thanks, Carter. That's pretty easy, actually. Now, I realize not everyone has a Shopify merch store. What should you do if you don't have one? Well, you could decide not to try to sell merch on Spotify. But why would you choose to leave potential money on the table like that? A much better solution probably is to take up the good folks at Shopify on their offer to give every Spotify artist a free 90-day account on Shopify. So I suggest you go and you redeem that offer, and you have to do that through your Spotify for Artists account dashboard. Then set up your store, and then connect it back to your Spotify account and start selling merch right off your Spotify Artist profile. Now, will you make enough merch sales to cover the eventual monthly fee that you'll have to pay for your Shopify account? And by the way, that fee usually starts at about $29 a month. I don't know if you'll make enough money. There are certainly, if you have a Shopify store, there are other places where you can sell that merch, right? Off your own website, you can link to it from your socials. It may still be worth it. But how much you'll sell off your Spotify artist profile depends on how many fans visit your artist profile and how far down they would be inclined to scroll to learn more about you. Regardless, the free trial of Spotify and Shopify costs you nothing but a bit of effort, so why not give it a shot? Who knows? You might drive some extra revenue you weren't counting on. I hope you found this helpful. Look forward to seeing you next time.